And good morning to you. It is Wednesday, April the 27th. We're real close to ending this month, aren't we? It'll all come to a close on Saturday, and we'll roll into May. 5 months into the year already. Woo! Next thing you know, we'll be counting down. We got Memorial Day coming up. Yeah. July the 4th, not that far off, is it? Not when you look at the big picture of it. Glad to see everyone. A little nippy. Grab that jacket if you've got to be out early today. 48 right now with a wind chill of 46. Now, that will change. We'll get to 75 here in a little while, but right now we are definitely on the nippy side of things if you get up early and go walking or have to do some things early in the yard, or maybe it's work. It's chilly today. Yesterday morning, I failed to realize that it was, as we call it, the High Sheriff's birthday. Yesterday was Billy Solly's birthday. Big one to him. I didn't realize it until after we'd gotten off the air yesterday. So happy belated birthday to Billy, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. How do you feel today? Hope good as we all get up and face this morning. Sandy White, I see you're up. Glad to see you there. Kathy Thomas, good cool morning. I agree with that. Almost makes you want to sit on your porch and sit for a spell and have a cup of coffee and enjoy that moment. There's so few moments in life. You should seize each one. All this will be over before we know it, won't it? Enjoy it as we go along. Mike Dallas, good morning. Joyce Poole is up. Clarence Westbrook, glad to see Clarence. Joyce Dennis is up. Glad to see you. To Corey, good to see you again this morning also. We see Flora Overstreet joining us from Hickory. Also Kyle Miller and Miss Mary Gordeau. Yeah, I said that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I'll never get that right. I keep trying. Linda Jane, how are you? Are y'all out of the hospital yet? Hadn't heard from y'all if you're still looking at that view of 14th. I hope everything is better and y'all are out now. Hope so. Well, as we begin to look around today, I thought I'd share this. This was a beautiful picture that was sent in to me yesterday of someone who stopped at the Mississippi River, and Old Glory was flying high across that. Isn't that gorgeous? We do have a lot of great scenery in the state of Mississippi. Every now and then stop and grab you a picture of what's going on. Glad to see that. Always good to see that. Overnight, we had a minor accident on I-20 as we pulled this up. This involved an 18-wheeler. Took me a little while, but that was all cleaned up. Traffic is flowing once again. Nothing major. Metro was called out, and everybody was good on that. As we look to some other things that went on overnight that sometimes you just can't explain, we'll start with this one. This was 11 o'clock or better. Somebody witnessed someone being chased by a car. Yeah, it was most likely an argument, and I laugh about it. No one was hurt, but sometimes arguments escalate into other things. This was on Highway 39 and over the parking lot of Walmart last night. Somebody was probably thrown out of the car. He made her mad, and she began to chase him with the car. She didn't hit him, but I think she scared him. By the time the police got there, it was all over, and nothing was done, and all was well again. But he made her mad for a little while. We did have reports of shots overnight also. The 1100 block of 45th Avenue is where that went on. And as you look into that, where might that be? That's just due south of Highland Park is where that would be. As we look at the map there, here's Highland Park. It would be in this area here, due south of Highland Park in this area here. You seem to have a lot of shootings in those areas, and you have to feel for the residents who live there that have to put up with this each and every day all around them. They didn't ask for it, that's for sure. Hopefully we'll get some police, extra police in those areas. It's a common thing in that area. I feel for those folks. Don't forget, this weekend they're going to have the benefit for David Shelton in Marion on April the 30th, a good event there. Also, before long, it'll be May the 7th as Collinsville Day will move back in. That's right around the corner also. That lots of things going on. If you've got an event, we'd love to hear from you also. Antique Alley is going to be making its way back to Highway 11 and 80. That will be May the 12th is when that will happen. I had mentioned that before. As you take a look at this, as we'll get ready for this, again, May 12th through the 15th. A pretty big one there. A yard sale that stretches from Meridian, Mississippi, all the way to Bristol, Virginia. It's big. Shop all you want there with all the different things. That's coming back to our area once again. Let's see what else is going on this morning. As we start looking at things, everything else was quiet in our area yesterday. No major things. We had a few thefts here and there of shoplifting. That's pretty common. And a few fender benders, but nothing major. We're thankful for that. No major shootings or anything like that. If you're any Mississippi State fans, I'm sure we do. There's a lot of folks that attend there. Their kids have gone there. The governor, Tate Reeves, is going to be approving a national championship license plate. So as they won last year, they'll be putting this out before long. So you can support the maroon and white by getting a new tag. That'll be coming out before long. Be ready for that. As we go back to Kent, Mississippi, another shooting there. 29-year-old man was shot once in the chest. Killed him. Another man has been arrested. A 26-year-old Xavier Barnes of Canton was arrested for the murder. We seem to have a lot of this, don't we? As we look to Jackson, this is nearly every day. The last official count we had was in the upper 30s. I'm sure it's into the 40s now in Jackson, as we find that a body was found yesterday on Glen Street. They haven't really released any other information other than they have found a body. The victim has not been identified. That's just bad. Anybody ever heard of Boonville, Mississippi? I've heard of it, but if you were to make me testify as to where it was or where it is, I couldn't tell you. So I looked it up on the map. Here we are down here, south of, here's Louisville. It's up here in the northeast corner, right here, of Mississippi. Here's Corinth, here's Tupelo. It's kind of in between. Why did I bring it up? Well, the mayor of Boonville is in hot water. He went to the park and somebody rode their dirt bike on there, and they were a minor, and he might have tapped them. He's been charged with simple assault on a minor. It's going to make it hard for re-election, I'm sure. That's the headlines there this morning. It was all over a dirt bike being rode inside of a park where he shouldn't have. He attempted to push it off, and I think it fell, and the next thing you know, he had pushed the kid, and it got ugly there for a moment. Cops arrived, but that was in Boonville. We also have an inmate that has escaped from Benton County in Mississippi, and also the same thing. I know that we have 82 counties, and you go, oh, my Lord, where's that? As we go back to the map to show you that, that's going to be the northern portion here. We've got an escaped convict. This is going to be here at Walnut, and you've got over here Red Banks. Holly Springs is probably a bigger town that you might recognize. Right there is the county right on the state line there. We had an inmate that did escape from work detail. That happened there. Benton County officials are looking for an inmate. Let's see, it happened around 12:45 yesterday. So they are looking for him. His name is Hunsucker. He's a white male, 5'11", 150 pounds. If you know anything and whereabouts of him in those areas there, be on the lookout for that. Let me see here. I think we've got a picture here from Dark Horse Press where they found it. Here it is. Yeah, let me pull this up and show you this. This is who they're looking for here this morning. That's Benton County. We don't have that happen all that often in the state of Mississippi. Hopefully, they'll be able to apprehend him before long. We go to sad news just to the west of us. I'm not sure. This has not made a huge nationwide headline, but still the same. It's still making headlines, and it's very important to a family as 3 children fell into the Mississippi River. It was, we turned to this, it was 2 teens and a child, an 8-year-old and a 14 and a 15-year-old. They had gone there right at New Orleans, and one of them fell in. 2 others tried to save it. All 3 were swept away. The United States Coast Guard has called off the search for them. They've been searching for them since Saturday. How horrible that could be. Again, that's in the New Orleans area at the Mississippi River. The search has been called off. They searched a 93-mile area, searched 55 hours, and weren't able to come up with anything. The current swept them away before anything could be done. Brandon Wilson, 14, 15-year-old boyfriend, took a little girl there. Horrible. But 14, 15, and 8 years old. That's what happened there in Memphis. Now, are you keeping up with this fraud that has happened in the state of Mississippi? This welfare fraud, where they've taken millions away from the people that need it in Mississippi. 2 of the top ones have pleaded guilty, and the state has accepted their guilty plea. And we're talking about Nancy and Zach. As we look at this, they pleaded guilty to this, and the state accepted it. The sentence could go up to 100 years. With the deal that they've made is the mother, who is 69, could spend 10 years in jail. The son, who's 39, could spend 5 years in jail at the end. The maximum is what they've done there. Welfare scandal that is bigger and bigger and bigger as we look at this, as Shad White, all involved in this, who's brought these folks to justice. Nancy New is her name, and his name is Zach New. N-E-W is their name. A lot of this wire fraud. As you look at her charges, pleading guilty to 4 counts: bribing a public official, 2 counts of fraud against the government, 6 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of racketeering. The maximum sentence would have been 100 years. With this plea deal, she'll serve 10. We'll see if we get the money back to the state of Mississippi. We certainly hope we do. And this thing just keeps growing, as I said. We'll see where it goes. As we get to that line in northern Mississippi, right there where Memphis is, we all know that, there was a little age difference in this marriage. As we look at this sad story, a gentleman who was 81 years old, a retired firefighter. His wife was 68. And he lived a little while. His wife had problems, so to speak. She was going to drink bleach. The gentleman tried to stop her from it. Next thing you know, an argument pursued. She went to the kitchen and got a butcher knife. He lived long enough to explain it to cops, but he has passed away. He was stabbed to death by his wife. And they do say that she's got mental issues there. He said that he told cops before he passed away he was trying to help her. That's bad. That's real bad. All over a cup of coffee. As we look around the nation of stories that are happening this morning, SpaceX, they've launched another international space flight. Y'all keep up with that? It's a pretty big deal there. Oklahoma has made it illegal to where, as we look at this, Oklahoma governor has signed a bill yesterday that explicitly prohibiting the use of non-binary gender makers on state birth certificates. So they're the first in the nation to do that. Elon Musk, I always try to say his name wrong, don't I? Truth Social, if you're keeping up with this, which is Donald Trump's platform, is still the #1 downloaded app out there. As we look to Don Jr., they're saying that possibly they've changed some things at Twitter, as now all of a sudden people are being able to get more followers. Don Jr. adding on tons and tons. So is Tucker Carlson. They're saying that they probably had the algorithms. Did I say that correctly? Never been able to say that exactly right, but they've adjusted it to where it's more on an equal balance now since the takeover. We'll follow that and see how that turns out there. The mayor of New York, as we all know, there's crime happening there on the subways, and well, most Americans don't even want to go back there now for vacation. He's asking the public to take pictures of the cops if they're using their phone, if they're assigned to a subway station. He wants it to turn it into his office, and he said he'll personally go visit the cops. You got to use your phone at some point. I don't think that's the problem in New York. That's just me thinking. Just talking about it. We've got a lot coming up this morning as we've got the morning show kicking off at 8. We're going to find out about the weather next. What's it going to do? We got some rain in the forecast. That's coming up in just a moment. And Austin is right. Shad White is doing good work, really. Studies it hard all over this. I wanted to mention this. I didn't bring this up. We have someone who is missing in the state of Mississippi. They've sent out a civil alert. As we go back to the Facebook page here and pull this up here, this is out of Hinds County. A civil alert has been issued for Kelvin Todd of Jackson, Hinds County. His family says that he has some conditions that make it to where his judgment is a little off. So a civil alert been issued for him. That's one of the things that are happening this morning across the state of Mississippi. Up next, we'll look at that forecast, so don't rush off. We'll tell you more about it next here this morning.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Michael Swansea, your Alpha Insurance agent. truly cares about his customers and makes it easy to get you the coverage you need at a competitive price that you can afford. Michael can tell you more about homeowner insurance. Maybe you've just bought a new mobile home, or you're renting for the first time and need insurance. Let Alpha protect your family with life insurance. And as your business grows, so does your insurance need. Michael Swansea, your Alpha insurance agent. Call him at 601-938-0123. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to a great Wednesday morning. Chilly right now as you're waking up. 48 with a wind chill of 46 this morning. Could be cooler where you are. Hopefully you're bearing it well if you've been outside. As we look to radar, let's pull this up where you can take a sneak peek here. Look at the state of Mississippi, Alabama. All of this looks great. Even into Louisiana, no traces of rain this morning. We got to go over here to Savannah, Georgia, before we find any rain here up the East Coast. A little bit of fog as you get toward Johnson City, Tennessee, in those areas there, and cooler as the further north you go as you get into Kentucky and Cincinnati, all the way up here to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Cooler weather there as you see that they've got a frost advisory across their area this morning. We come across the north there, a little bit of snow still falling there in North Dakota. Not the place to be this morning, but warming up. Big 27 there for them. Across in Montana, also 38 today. Raining in Portland as usual, and California looks great. Out in Albuquerque, these areas here down near El Paso and Tucson and Phoenix, be careful there. Those fire warnings are out. They don't want you burning anything. A lot of wind as you get into Oklahoma as it approaches Texas. Now, we'll be telling you about the rain that is coming up before long that will be making its way toward the end of the weekend. Possibly Sunday there. Let's get into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
We go back to our record highs, our record lows on this date. 1987, a high of 92 was set. As we go to 1992, a record low of 39. As you'll see, these temperatures start rising as we go back for our record lows each day. It was in the low 30s a few weeks ago, up to 39 for the record low on this date. Getting near May. As we look across the state, this is it today, 75 in Meridian. We go northward, even Columbus hitting 75. Philadelphia, you'll make it to 74, as well as Vicksburg and the Mississippi Delta. Down south as we go to Natchez, 75. Hattiesburg easing up a little bit more, 77 in that area there. As we go down to the coast, a tad warmer there across the state. As we move across to Alabama, we're looking for 76 there in Livingston. Great weather. 74 in Fayetteville. Tuscaloosa, you'll make 77 as well today. Montgomery, 79. Perfect weather. You can't beat this. Pleasant is the way they put it from the National Weather Service in Alabama. What's coming? Well, the temperatures are going to rise as you look at this over the next 6 to 10 days. We see this warm front making its way here. This will be one of our cooler days that we have today. Let's go ahead and bring in that forecast and look at what is forecasted over the next few days. 74 to 75, depending on where you are today. 0% chance of rain. That low last night, 46. 81 tomorrow as the temps start to rise again. 55 tomorrow night. As we move into Friday, we'll end the week with a high of about 84. That's pretty good, isn't it? By Saturday, we get this chance, 87. Warm. It'll be perfect as we get out. There'll be a lot of things happening this weekend. Hope you can enjoy that. As we move into Sunday is when we'll start to see that chance of rain. The chance of rain comes in on Saturday night with a 20% chance, and by Sunday, we get a 40 to 50% chance, depending upon where you are in relation to this. High of 87, most likely, 86, 87 there. Still lingering around on Monday. We'll have a 30% chance of rain on Monday and a slight chance Tuesday. As we make our way on into this, look at these highs. 89 on the 4th. All the way down to the 11th. We'll stay into the 80s, about 87 there as we make it to May 11th. So warmer days are definitely ahead of us. A few chances of rain late in the weekend, not bad at all. But enjoy today. This is going to be one of our best days. Slight little breeze there and 77 or so for the high. Can't beat it at all. What about the fishing? As we go back to the best times to hit the water today, it's going to be around 11 o'clock today till 1 o'clock, a lunchtime fishing trip. Brought to you by Chet's Paint and Body if you're going to do that. Northeast wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Not bad in the fishing world if you're going to be out on that. That's a quick look at our weather and headlines this morning as we glance around the state and nationwide. We got a big show coming up at 8 a.m. Candace will be in to tell us more about this. We'll join up and tell you all that has happened over the last 24 hours. A bunch. Can't do it without you. Each and every day, y'all help us out there. As we say good morning to Kathy Spence, joining us there from Decatur. Thank you. Denise Burnside is up. Georgia Henson, how are you? Also, Miss Fisher, Miss Elisa, glad to see you there. Donna Roseman joins us there. Bree Packer, all of y'all. Ann Hall. Also, Lisa Brookins, there you are. And April Rogers jumping in there. Jimmy Slay, stop and smell the roses. You have to. Before you know it, you won't have a rose. That's the way life works. But again, we want to say thank you for dropping by and spending some time with us. As you're starting that day again, 48. It's going to be nice. We'll be back very soon as we'll kick off at 8 a.m. a live show just for y'all. We'll see you soon. Here's the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: